Hello hook loopers, welcome to my crochet channel. I'm Sarah. Many popular crochet stitches can be obtained in Tunisian crochet as well. So today, for example, I would like to show you how to make the Tunisian Puff Stitch. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to make this lovely braided design. So let's begin straight away. For this stitch tutorial, we will start from a special foundation row. So I will start from a chain of 19 stitches. Okay, so I will start pulling up loops from this chain, starting from the second chain stitch of my chain, with the first loop on the hook already counting as stitch number 1. So in this case, I would advise not to drop loops from the back bump of the chain, but from this horizontal bar here. So this is 1. We will start drawing up loops in Tunisian simple stitch. We will work into the first 5 stitches in Tunisian simple stitch. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have a video tutorial for the Tunisian simple stitch in my Tunisian stitches collection section, so I will leave a link for it in the description below. Okay, so now in the next 2 stitches I will form my first 2 Tunisian puff stitches. So the puff stitch is made just like for regular crochet. So this means we will drop loops from one single stitch, inserting the hook in it a number of times. So in this case I will yarn over and insert the hook into this chain stitch, yarn over and pull through and up on the hook, 2 stitches, 2 loops on the hook, then I yarn over again, insert the hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook, 4 loops on the hook, a third time, so yarn over, insert the hook in the same stitch again, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook, 6 loops on the hook. This is my first puff stitch. Now I'm going to repeat this in the following stitch, creating another puff stitch. So I yarn over, insert the hook in the next stitch 1 time, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook, 2 loops on the hook, okay, a second time, yarn over, insert the hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook, 4 loops on the hook, again a final time, yarn over, insert the hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook, 6 loops on the hook. And that's my second puff stitch. Now I will resume my work and work into the next 5 stitches in Tunisian simple stitch. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to form another 2 puff stitches in the next 2 stitches, just like I've shown you before. So yarn over, insert the hook in this stitch here once, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook. A second time, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over and pull through and up on the hook. Again, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook. That's my first puff stitch. Another one in the next stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through a second time, and a third time. That's it. Finally, I'm going to finish my forward pass with the last 5 stitches worked in Tunisian simple stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now to the return pass. This is not a standard return pass, but it's a special one. So I begin my return pass just like for a standard return pass. So I yarn over and pull through 1 loop only first, and then I start yarning over and pulling through 2 loops together until I reach my first puff stitch here. So yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. That's not it yet. Yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so now I've reached my puff stitch, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through 7 loops together, which I'm doing like this. So I yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so that's my first puff stitch completed. Now I'm going to yarn over again and repeat this with the second puff stitch in line. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through 7 loops together at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's my second puff stitch completed. Now I'm going to resume my standard return pass by yarning over and pulling through 2 loops together at once. 1, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, until we reach our next puff stitch, which is here. Okay, so yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2 again. Okay, so now just like before, I'm going to yarn over and pull through 7 loops together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's my first puff stitch completed. Now I yarn over and do the same with the second puff stitch here. So yarn over and pull through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm doing it slowly to show you just where you need to pull through your hook, but with practice you will be able to make it a little bit quicker, I promise. So now I'm going to cast off the remaining loops from my hook with the in the standard way. So I yarn over and pull through 2 loops together until the end of my return pass, and until I'm left with just 1 loop on the hook, like this. Okay, so that was the foundation row, the special one, which also counts as row number 1. In row number 2, we are going to repeat this with small variations, which I will show you. So I'm going to work in Tunisian simple stitch in the first 5 stitches, with the first loop on the hook already counting as stitch number 1. So insert the hook under the first vertical bar for Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over, pull through and up on the hook. That's stitch number 2. That's 3, 4 and 5. Now I'm going to make another 2 puff stitches, but I'm going to make them right between the puff stitches of my previous row below, here. Okay, so I will skip my first puff stitch, then I yarn over and make the first puff stitch for row number 2 in between those 2 puff stitches here. So I insert the hook here in the space here and begin with the first 1, 2, 3, and that's my first puff stitch created. Now I'm going to repeat this by doing the same thing. So I will create another puff stitch here by yarning over, inserting the hook 3 times in the space, 2 and 3, just like before. Now skip the next puff stitch and work in Tunisian simple stitch in the next 5 stitches, starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, just like before, I am going to create 2 puff stitches in the space between puff stitches of previous row below. So here. That's the first. 1, 2, 3. And that's the second. Now again I am skipping this puff stitch here and finish my forward pass with 5 stitches worked in Tunisian simple stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th is a border stitch, a so-called neat closing stitch, which is made by inserting the hook under both the front vertical bar of this last stitch and its back bar at the same time. Yarn over and drop a loop. Now we are going to make a special return pass just like before. So we will start by yarning over and pulling through 1 loop only first, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 until you reach your cluster of puff stitches. Now again you need to yarn over and pull through 7 loops together. Okay, so with some attention, yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Let's see if we need more. And 7 here. Do I have it right? Yes, I do. And that's the first puff stitch. Now again I yarn over and pull through 7 loops together. Okay, it's easier for the second puff stitch, as you see. Now I resume my standard return pass, so I yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now I've reached my second cluster of puff stitches, and again I need to yarn over and pull through 7 loops together. Another way for doing it, to recognize where our puff stitches start and end, we can, with the help of our finger, quickly count the loops. So I have, okay, 6 here. So now I know that I need to pull through those 7 ones here. Okay. And then count at first. Do I have it right? Yes, I do. Yarn over and pull through 7 together at once. Okay, and now I'm finishing my return pass by yarning over and pull through 2 loops together. Okay, and that's row number 2 completed. And this is basically how the pattern works. You can go on in this way for as long as you wish, always working in Tunisian simple stitch in between the puff stitch clusters, working 2 puff stitches in between the puff stitches of previous row. So, and this is basically the Tunisian braided puff stitch. As you see, it may be a little bit more complicated or slower to execute than your average Tunisian stitch, but first of all, I think it's worth the trouble because it really does look lovely, and I am a big fan of the puff stitch in general. Also, practice makes the master, as they say. It does become quicker, the movement, when you do the return pass. It is easier, it gets easier and easier to recognize how many loops you need to cast off every time. I promise. So if you want to give it a try, I'm sure you'll be even better than me in executing this stitch. Still, I hope you like it and you have fun with it, and that this tutorial is was clear enough for you to understand. As always, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all next time with another beautiful stitch in Tunisian crochet. Bye bye!